Hey guys, this is Curlinda with Curlinda Can Cook, and today I'm going to teach you how to make easy, cheesy chicken quesadillas. Let's get ready, let's get set, let's get cooking. Okay guys, so for our quesadillas, here's the basics of what you're going to need. You are going to need some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You're going to need some cheese. I have the quesadilla blended cheese, but you can use whatever type of cheese you want. You're going to need flour tortillas, and you're also going to need some taco seasoning. That's it, y'all. I told you it's easy, cheesy. And I really do mean that. So what we're going to do first is go ahead and we're going to slice our chicken and dice it up into small cubes. And once we get our chicken sliced and diced, I'll be back. Alright y'all, so we have our chicken all sliced and diced in our bowl, and what I've done is I added one full packet of taco seasoning to it, and I have mixed this very well so that it can marinate. What we're going to do is let this sit for about 10 minutes so that our chicken and our seasoning can marry. Then we're going to put this on the stove and give it a nice fry in our pan. So see you in 10 minutes. Alright guys, we are back and about to get our chicken all fried up. What I have here in my pan is I actually have 3 tablespoons of butter that I'm letting melt down. And I'm also going to add about a good tablespoon of olive oil to that as well. Now, we want our chicken to be packed with flavor. We already have the taco seasoning on it, so that's going to give it really, really good flavor. But when we mix the butter and the olive oil together, that's really going to give it a nice nutty type flavor as an undertone in our chicken. So it's going to give us a really good flavor profile with all of our flavors that we're going to be waking up from our taco seasoning. So now we have this all melted. What we're going to do is go ahead and add our chicken from our bowl. And we are just going to stir our chicken around in our pot for about a good 10 minutes until all of our chicken pieces are done. Alright y'all, so we are halfway through the cooking process of our chicken. And as you can see how it's turning. Now I am constantly stirring this chicken because I want to keep as much juiciness into my chicken as possible, and I don't want it sticking all to the bottom of my pan, okay? So I am keeping this stirred really, really good. Now with this chicken, I'm actually going to be serving this with Spanish rice, but if you want, you can serve your chicken like with pico de gallo. You can serve your chicken with guacamole. Whatever you want to, serve your chicken with, you can do that with your quesadilla, okay? So all we're going to do when we're done is just take our chicken, put it in our quesadilla, get that all together, and then that's like a whole meal, a whole snack. You can make that for your main entree if you want. You know, you can serve it to the kids for lunch. It's really, really great, for any time of the day. So, let your imagination roll with it, As your butter and your olive oil are marrying the chicken and the chicken seasoning, it's creating a really nice sauce on the chicken. Or like a nice light coating onto the chicken. And that's also helping to keep the moisture into your chicken for you so that your chicken doesn't dry out, because nobody's going to have fun eating a dry quesadilla, right? Alright y'all, so our chicken is pretty much done now. What I'm going to do is take this off of the fire so that it can cool down a little bit and I can shred it up a little bit more. If you want your nice little pieces like this, you can go ahead and leave them if you want. you know. But if you want it more kind of shredded, then now is the time to do it, now that you've gotten it done. Also, you know, some people might ask, well, why did I cut up the chicken in the first place? And one reason why I cut my chicken is because, you know, there are times when you will get a quesadilla, and your quesadilla is a bit thick cut of meat, cut of the breast still. But whenever you bite into it, you don't have seasoning through all of your meat. So that's why I cut mine, so that I could make sure that I have all of that flavor packed in all of my meat. Because I want to be able to taste everything all the time. Not hit and miss and taste some of my flavor some of the time. Alright, y'all. What I'm going to do is get this off of the fire so that I can let this start to cool down and I can shred it a little bit. I'm not going to do a whole lot of shredding because I pretty much like where we are. But I am going to shred it down just a hair. Like I said, that is totally optional. So I'll be back in a few minutes, y'all. And this is what I'm telling you when I told you I'm going to shred it. All I'm doing is just taking my spoon and kind of shredding through my larger pieces that I want to make just a little bit smaller, okay? Now, I took it off of the fire because I do want it to stay hot. However, I want my meat to stay juicy. I don't want it to overcook, okay? Because if you've ever overcooked a chicken breast before, you know that's not the business right there. You know, that gets tough and rubbery. And we don't want that at all. Okay, so now this is really good. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my pan on the stove with my tortillas so that I can get my quesadilla all hooked up together, okay? Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I assemble my quesadilla. I am using large quesadillas, or I'm sorry, large flour tortillas, because I am feeding men. So what I'm doing is just taking my pastry brush. I have right here some butter that I melted in the microwave. So I just took my pastry brush and I buttered one side of my tortilla. Now I'm going to use a skillet to make my quesadillas. So with that being said, if you have a grill, you can use your grill, especially if you want your grill marks. But I am using my skillet, okay? So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and I've put down a nice handful of cheese to one side. To that, I'm going to add a spoon of chicken. A little more than a spoon of chicken, y'all. I told y'all I'm feeding men, okay? And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go ahead and add more cheese. And you want to add cheese to both sides because your cheese is going to act like a binder for you to be able to hold everything together, or like a glue of sorts. Now I'm going to press this a little bit like so. And there we go, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a couple of these for us to be able to fry in our pan. Because, you know, like I said, I'm feeding men. So, but like if you have a grill, like a, you know, one of those grills that leave the marks, or like a George Foreman grill or something like that, go ahead and use it if you want to make your quesadillas. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Also, you know, if you want to make, like, for your kids for lunch in school and stuff like that, if you want to make them a chicken quesadilla, you can use steak with this. You can use beef with this. You know, you can even use, like, peanut butter and jelly if you want to and make you a quesadilla. It's totally up to you. Be creative and let your imagination roll, okay? So, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep making these until I get enough so that we can go over to the stove and I will show you what I do next. Alright, y'all, we are ready to get this party started, honey. So we have our pan right here that we have warmed up on our stove. Now we don't have any oil or anything in our pan, because remember, we put the butter on our tortilla, okay? And what we're going to do is just give this a nice good press in here. And we want to make this where all of our cheese on the inside melts, and we're toasting the outside of our quesadilla. Normally y'all see me and I'm not pressing anything, but this time I want to make sure that I get everything all pressed in together. Now I don't have mine all the way out to the edge, and it might seem like, well, why don't she have it all the way out to the edge? One, when we cut it, it's going to spread. Two, when you bite into it, it's going to spread. So we don't want to make a big mess now, and then we don't have any room for anything later. So I'm just going to look at this on the other side. I can tell that that's not all the way quite together, but let me just take a peek under there. Yeah. So we can keep going with this for like another minute. I'm going to give this a flip. Isn't that pretty right there? And we're just going to keep pressing. And like I said, I'm going to serve these with Spanish rice and a little side of sour cream. So if they want to dip it in sour cream, they can. You can serve this with pico de gallo. You can serve this with salsa. You can serve this with guacamole. Again, let your imagination roll how you want to do it. Alright guys, so this quesadilla right here is done. We are going to take this one off, and we are going to repeat the process with the rest of them until we get finished. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back with you to show you the finished plate, okay? Now that we have our quesadillas done, I'm going to go ahead and give these a nice cut in the center, and then I'm going to cut each side in half, okay? Now, as I told you before, I left room so that when we bite into it, we would be able to let it come out without burning ourselves and not making such a big mess. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We always love you over here on this channel. Please, if you have not already done so and you've been with me this long, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you turn on your notification bell so that you will be able to receive notification of all the delicious dishes that we upload over here on our channel. If you decide to make one of our dishes, please go ahead and give us tag us on Facebook and on Instagram, so that we will be able to show you some love and shout you out right back, okay? And remember, stay blessed, and don't forget to always be a blessing. See you in the next video. Now that right there, honey, it's about to go down. Chicken quesadilla with Spanish rice.